101.3 Grace Covenant FM, Lingaw Kaayo.
Zo Joey on Grace Covenant FM.
Miss Lynn Mercedes.
Mr. July Aguilar.
Sexy Aya on Grace Covenant FM. Giya sa Pagpili 2022.
Usa ka oras nga tulumanon, matag Lunes hangtod Biyernes, alas 12 ang takna sa udto, ngadto na sa launa ang takna sa hapon. Ihatod kaninyo sa atong mga program anchors, Municipal Administrator Engineer Joselito Nonoy Miquiabas, kauban sa iyahang co-host nga si Melody Yurong. Ania ang inyong mga alagad sa kahanginan.
Okay, maayong udto sa ato mga soaking tigpaminaw. Adlaw karon nga Friday, March 18, 2022. So happy Friday po sing lahat dyan. And then sa mga nangaon karon, I hope nga okay ra mo diha. Happy eating, happy lunchtime. And sa ato mga viewers din, hello sa inyong lahat. O sa ato mga avid listeners, happy Friday. And thank God it's Friday. And yun po, last week or last Wednesday is katapos ko lang i-mention yung mga vice presidential candidate. So ngayong araw naman, ma-proceed na punta sa atong mga senatorial candidate. So na ay 12 or magic 12 na kumbaga nilang gitawag. Kung sino po ang angay nga botaran para sa atong upcoming May 9 national and local election. So kani siya may kiji nga programa is Giya ni siya or gabayan para sa lahat ng ating mga voters ano. Mapa-local man yan, mapa-national sa lahat nating mga OFWs dyan. Kumusta po kayo? Isa na siya ka Giya or gabayan para po kung sino talaga ang angay nga botaran para sa atong upcoming May 9 national, of course, atong local din na election. So I hope nga everyone is ready to listen again and then widen your thoughts, mga kiji. So last Wednesday, ako siyang na-share sa inyo or na-impart sa inyo nga kanisya, naging honest and naging vocal ang atong municipal administrator regarding sa iyang mga gusto nga tabangan. Especially po sa lahat ng mga lumulupyo diri sa lungsod na Bacolod, kaningan mga senatorial na candidate. Naging vocal siya, naging open siya na kung pwede po sila po ay ating tulungan dahil nga po isa din sila sa mga tumulong din sa panahon na nangangailangan po ang lungsod ng Bacolod. I hope I'm not mistaken but ito po ang aking natandaan during na siya akong kapartner every time na mag-programme around 12 to 1 ang kaning Giya sa Pagpili 2022. And again, let me refresh sa inyong mga memorya po ang mga senatorial candidate. So ngayong araw, akong pagasugdan o recap o refresh lang po sa lahat ng ating mga listeners, viewers. Ang kabayan sa biography, accomplishment, and sa kanilang plataforma. So isa sa mga magpapili para sa atong senatorial candidate, isa na siya ka-independent. And then nabanggit din sa atong municipal administrator na siya din po is handang tumulong and madali din pong hanapin. In a person of Senator Alan Peter S. Cayetano. So yun po. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano was only 13 years old when he was first exposed to public service. Complete name, Alan Peter Scram Cayetano or Sharam Cayetano. Nickname is Alan. He is also known as Compañero. Iyang birthday is October 28, 1972. And then ang kanyang birthplace is sa Mandaluyong, Metro Manila. So kabahay naman po sa iyang family background, iyang father is the late senator, lawyer, Renato Compañero Cayetano, was then elected assemblyman representing Taguig, Pateros, and Muntinlupa. Kabahay naman sa kanyang mother, ang pangalan kay si Sandra Schramm or Sandra Schramm, a German-American school teacher. Kabahay naman po sa kanyang mga siblings, iyang brother kay ang mayor and former Congressman Lino. He is also a film and television director. Naalala ko lang bigla nung binasa ko ulit yung biography ni Lino. Parang siya yung dating katambal or ka-love team. Or talagang in relationship ni sino nga yun? Yung kasama nila Tony Gonzaga, Mariel Rodriguez. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan niya. Basa namin niya siya karon og isa ka basketball player. And then kabahin naman po siyang sibling si Councilor of Muntinlupa Rene Carl, and then Taguig Barangay Chairman Lino Edgardo Cayetano. Kabahin naman po siyang sister mo na si Senator Pia Cayetano. Ang kanyang spouse naman si Maria Laorne Cayetano is a Filipino politician. She is currently serving as congresswoman of the 2nd Legislative District of Taguig City and Metro Manila. So kabahin naman po sa iyang educational attainment. During his elementary years and high school years, dito siya nag-eskwela sa De La Salle Zubel School. And then during naman siyang college, taking up with the degree of BA, Political Science at University of the Philippines, Diliman at Quezon City, graduated in 1993. Kabahin din naman sa kanyang postgraduate, Juris Doctor at Ateneo School of Law, graduated in 1997 with a second honor, also known as a silver medalist or medalist, admitted to the Philippine Bar May 1998. So Alan Peter Cayetano is a young achiever. Senator Alan has always been among the youngest, if not the youngest, in his political sphere. At the age 22, Alan was the youngest councilor of the country during his time. At 24, Alan was the youngest vice mayor of the municipality, now city of Taguig. At 27, Alan was the youngest representative in the 11th Congress. At 36, Alan was the youngest working senator in the 14th Congress. At 37, Alan has been the youngest chair of the high-profile Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. At 39, Alan has been one of the youngest contenders for the Senate presidency. At 39 again, Alan is the youngest minority leader in the history of the Philippine Senate. At the age of 39, Alan was recognized for his exemplary work in government and public service when he was awarded as one of the top outstanding young men in 2010. So napaka-credible din.
Giya sa Pagpili!
Ni Alan Peter Cayetano. Although parang tumakbo siya, or atat ito siya noong 2019, if not mistaken, ng Vice President po. And naging katambal niya si President Roa Rodrigo Duterte. And then kabahan naman sa kanyang work experience, 1998 to 2007, and 2019 up to present, nahimo siyang congressman. 2019, October 12, 2020, nahimo siyang Speaker of the House of Representatives. 2017 to 2018, nahimo siyang Secretary of Department of Foreign Affairs. 2010 up to present, nahimo siyang Senate Minority Floor Leader. Commended by the Senate through Resolution 46/I-94 for his effort as minority leader in championing the cause of orphan, abandoned children, and vulnerable workers, and for his statute inputs in the deliberation of crucial legislation and resolution. On May 10, 2017, President Rodrigo Duterte announced that Cayetano was appointed as Secretary of Foreign Affairs, following the expiration of the one-year appointment ban on losing candidates of the 2016 election. As Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Cayetano took an objective-based approach in resolving the territorial disputes of the Philippines, which he described as negotiation through the use of historical facts such as the Treaty of Paris of 1898 and the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea to defend the Philippines' claims. He also vowed to avoid microphone diplomacy, which he described as the continual issuing of public statement instead of privately negotiating the issues with the parties. Year 2007 to 2017, himo siyang senator. Naging chairman din sa Blue Ribbon Committee on Accountability of Public Officers. He headed the investigation of the NBN ZTE deal of steered the continuation of the fertilizer scam investigation. Nahimo po siyang chairman, a Committee on Education, Culture and Sports. And then he passed the Republic Act 9500, University of the Philippines Charter Act of 2008. Initiated efforts to make educational loans and scholarship more responsive and easily accessible to deserving students. And then, 2007 to 2017, mupod ni iyang nahimo mga kiji, sought more funding for basic and tertiary education. Naging chairman din siya sa tuig 2007 to 2017, Chairman Committee on Mass Media and Information. And then he filed the Freedom of Information Con FOI, which was approved on its third reading and passed in the Senate during the 14th Congress. Year 1995 to 1998, nahimo siyang vice mayor. 1998 to 2001, elected representative of the Lone District of Taguig, Apateros. Year 1992 to 1995, nahimo siyang councilor. And then, kabahay naman siyang recognition ni Alan Peter Cayetano. He was recognized for his exemplary work in government and public service. Cayetano chaired the Philippine Sea Games organizing a committee called FISGOC, a private organization with a budget of, or a private organization tasked to organize the 2019 Southeast Asian Games called FISGOC, is a private organization with a budget of 6 billion, tasked to perform the function of a government office and share some of its members with the Philippine Sports Commission. So kabahay naman po sa kanyang legislative accomplishment, nakiji balik ni siya, but ako pagin siyang gipangitan og deepening information na akong kaya po, again, please lend me your ears, widen your thoughts. Parang nahihirapan ako magsalita. Lend me your ears and then widen your thoughts. So kabahay naman sa kanyang legislative accomplishment, most of the laws authored by Cayetano focus on education, person with disabilities rights, political reforms, health, and environment. Muna siya ang yung mga nahimong authored and co-authored during his time as a Philippine Senator way back 2007 to 2017. Kani Republic Act number 10648, also known as Scholar ng Bayan Act of 2014. This provided scholarship grants to top graduates of all public high school in state-owned universities and colleges. Another one, kanin himo siyang authored and co-authored during his time as Philippine Senator way back 2007 to 2017, kanin Republic Act number 9500 or 9500, also known as University of the Philippines Charter Act of 2008. Another one, kanin Republic Act number 10676, Students Athletes Protection Act. This law prohibits the commercialization of student athletes. Another one sa iyang legislative accomplishment, himo siyang authored and co-authored during his time as Philippine Senator, kaning Republic Act number 7277, also known as the Magna Carta for Disabled Person. This law provides for the rehabilitation, self-deployment, and self-reliance of disabled person and their integration in the mainstream society. And lastly, kaning Republic Act number 10928, also known as the Amendment of the Philippine Passport Act. This extended the validity of the Philippine passport to 10 years. So yun po ang kanyang mga legislative accomplishment na siya po ang authored and co-authored during his time as Philippine Senator way back 2007 to 2017. And then another one sa iyang nahimo mga kiji kaning the laws that were enacted by Peter Alan Cayetano. Mga kiji oras si karon alas 12:15.
Sa Pagpili 2022.
Okay, the laws that were enacted by Cayetano kaning postponement of the May 2020 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan election. Next is kaning establishment of malasakit centers. Another one, kaning increasing and restructuring the excise tax on alcohol, heated tobacco, and vapor products. Another one, kaning creation of the National Academy of Sports. And lastly, the laws that were enacted by Cayetano, kaning the Salary Standardization or Standardization Law of 2019, which increased the salary of teachers and nurses. And then, kabahin naman po sa kanya mga bills, laws have been approved on the third and final reading such as major tax reform measures measures such as the Corporate Income Tax and Incentives Rationalization Act con Citera. Next naman, kaning Passive Income and Financial Intermediary Taxation Act con PIFITA, Real Property Valuation and Assessment Act, and lastly, kaning bills, laws have been approved on the third and final reading such as creation of the Department of Filipinos Overseas and Foreign Employment. So, kabahin naman po sa programa ni Peter Alan Cayetano. Number 1 is kaning 10K Ayuda Bill. Okay, Cayetano and his allies from the BTS filed in February 2021 the House Bill number 8597, otherwise known as the 10K Ayuda Bill. The measure seeks to provide each Filipino family with a one-time 10,000 assistance or 1,500 per family member, whichever is higher, which they can use for their daily needs or to start their own businesses as they await the full rollout of COVID-19 vaccination. So yun po ang kanyang unang programa during po sa kaning gitawag nga ato pa experience sa COVID-19 na pandemic, ano? Another po sa kanyang programa kaning Sari-Saring Pag-asa. Okay, Cayetano also introduced another program known as the Sari-Saring Pag-asa con SSP, which aims to provide struggling sari-sari store owners with a one-time 3,500 cash assistance to replenish their supplies amid the pandemic. A known advocate of small to medium enterprise empowerment, Cayetano initiated the program to complement the 10,000 Pag-asa program which provides select Filipino families with 10,000 in cash aid to help them with their basic needs and put up their own small businesses amid the pandemic. So another po sa kanyang programa is kaning Cayetano hands out 10,000 to 300 OFWs. And lastly po sa kanyang programa, kaning ex-speaker Cayetano urged Duterte to veto vape bill. So yun po ang kanyang programa. Kaning 10K Ayuda Bill, Sari-Saring Pag-asa, and then Cayetano hands out a 10,000 bill or 10,000 pesos to 300 OFWs. And lastly, kaning ex-Peter Cayetano urged Duterte to veto vape bill. And then, kabahin naman po sa iyang kontrobersiya
Sa Pagpili 2022.
Okay, House Speaker shape fight between Cayetano and Velasco. So yun po ni iyang mga nahimong kontrobersiya no ni Peter Alan Cayetano kaning House Speaker shape fight between Cayetano and Velasco. Next naman pa siyang kontrobersiya kaning Cayetano resign as House Speaker. Next po, the ABS-CBN franchise renewal controversy, and another one kayong Cayetano uses restrictive extrajudicial killing definition. So yun po ang kanyang kontrobersiya ni Peter Alan Cayetano. And kabahin naman po sa kanyang plataforma kung siya po is palaring makapasok po sa senatorial slate. Kaning if he would be elected again to the Senate, Cayetano said, he would push for institutional reform for decentralization to happen. So yun po ang kanyang plataforma kung siya po is palaring po na makapasok po sa senatorial seat. So I hope everyone is na-enlighten kamo sa akong gi-impart karon nga further information or deepen information, no? Kabahin ni Peter Alan Cayetano. So sa lahat ng mga viewers out there, mga listeners out there, I hope na nakalista na mo. Kung sino po inyong angay nga botaran no, para sa itong senatorial seat. Although marami to sala, pila nis nakabok, 70 na mga senatorial balls nga gustong makaupo po sa senatorial seat. Kung sino po ang palaring na makapasok, please do your job well, char. And then sana naman naggabayan kayo ng ating poong may kapal sa lahat ng mga decision making nyo na talagang mag-prosper pa ang bansang Pilipinas. Although, parang trabaho yan ng ating Pangulo or upcoming na President, but still you have the power din na tulungan siya, no? So yun po ang biography, platforms and mga programs na nahimo ni Peter Alan Cayetano. So, next naman po, sa isa din magpapili para sa itong senatorial candidate na si Representative Rodante Dizon Marcoleta. Okay, Representative Marcoleta was born to a family of farmers in Panique, Tarlac. He values education and was actually an industrious student. Due to poverty, there were constant struggles, but he would always choose to see the brighter side of things. So, dapat ganun talaga maging optimistic tayo, maging positibo despite sa mga problems in life, despite sa mga anxiety in life. Maging positibo din, no? And then, huwag din po kalimutan magdasal din po na I know everything will turn out good, better, and best. Okay, personal information, a complete name, Rodante Dizon Marcoleta. Iyang birthday is July 26, 1953. Ang kanyang birthplace naman is Panique, Tarlac, Philippines. Iyang religion kay Iglesia ni Cristo. Iyang occupation kay lawyer and politician. So kabahin naman sa kanyang wife, ang pangalan is si Edna M. Marcoleta. And then naasla isa kan anak na si Paulo Henry Marcoleta. So kabahin naman sa educational background, iyang elementary, graduated as valedictorian, but hindi po na-state kung asa nga school, ano. And then siyang college naman, taking up the course of Bachelor of Laws. He also holds as a Master in Business Administration con MBA degree at Senior Executive Program at the University of the East con UE. Nagkabahin po siyang doctorate, PhD in Public Administration at University of the Philippines year 2020. So, Rodante Dizon Marcoleta, from lawyer to congressman. House Deputy Speaker Marcoleta is a lawyer by profession, having practiced for nearly 20 years. Prior to becoming a legislator, he provided pro bono legal services to the poor and vulnerable, particularly to the victims of unlawful eviction and demolition cases. When he became a lawyer, he tried to help as many people, especially the poor who had a lot of legal struggles, such as ejectment cases. Representative Marcoleta thought that if he becomes a public servant, he can probably render more help to more people. So kabahin naman sa kanyang political career and work experience, May 26, 2020, Representative Marcoleta was selected to give the opening speech against the franchise hearing of ABS-CBN, where he listed several violations of the media giant. Year 2019 at 2% nahimo siyang Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Year 2016 up to present nahimo siyang congressman as nominee of Sagip Party List. In 2016, under the 17th Congress, he was elected party list representative of the Social Amelioration and Genuine Intervention on Poverty Party List Consagip, more commonly known as its abbreviation. He is known as the proponent of slashing the budget of the Commission on Human Rights to 1,000 pesos. In the 15th Congress, he was a chairman of the Committee on Poverty, Again, in the 15th Congress, he was chairman of the Committee on Poverty Alleviation and a member of the powerful Commission on Appointments. In the 17th Congress, he was elected Senior Deputy Majority Leader and Chairman of the Committee on Globalization and WTO. Year 2004 to 2013, himo siyang congressman as nominee of ang alagad o party list. Mekiji oras karon alas 12:25. Okay, Marcoleta also voted for the following landmark bills. Number 1, in 2017, Marcoleta was among the 54 legislators in the House of Representatives who voted against the reimposition of the death penalty. They were outvoted by 214 legislators who were in favor of the death penalty. Another one, kaning the controversial reproductive health bill. So mo na mga landmarks bills nga Marcoleta also voted for the following landmark bills. And he was the co-author of significant pieces of legislation that greatly impacted on the lives of the underprivileged, such as Republic Act 9502 or the Cheaper Medicines Act, Republic Act 10932 which strengthened the anti-hospital deposit law. Next, kaning Republic Act 10931 which grants free tuition to qualified students in state universities and colleges. Another one, na kanya nahimo siyang co-authored of the significant pieces of legislation, kaning Republic Act 10963, otherwise known as the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Train Law. Next, kaning Republic Act 10969, which gives free irrigation services to farmers. Next, kaning Republic Act 11054, which provides for the organic law for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao Conbarm, for which he was one of the conferees of the Bicameral Conference Committee. And lastly, kaning Republic Act 11055 or the Philippine Identification System Act, an ardent proponent of Republic Act 11291 or the Magna Carta for the Poor. During the 18th Congress, he was authored some important legislative measures like House Bill Number 150, an act establishing the Overseas Filipino Workers Social Security and Retirement System and appropriating funds therefore. Next, kaning House Bill Number 4640, an act providing compensation to victims of collateral damage during law enforcement and military operations and appropriating funds therefore. Another, kaning House Bill Number 5234, an act establishing the Livelihood Enhancement Assistance Program (CONLIC) and appropriating funds therefore. Next naman po, siya po ang authored during sa 18th Congress, kaning House Bill Number 6415, an act mandating the Department of Education to introduce structural and institutional adjustment into the K-12 curriculum to achieve a greater efficiency and success across all key stages of the program. And lastly, kaning House Bill Number 144, an act providing for the establishment of a national framework for mandatory environment insurance coverage for certain environmentally critical projects. So yun po ang kanyang mga nahimo, mga laws, mga House Bill during the 18th Congress. And then kabahan po sa iyang kontrobersiya, Marcoleta known for slashing the budget of the Commission on Human Rights of 1,000 in 2017. Another controversy, kaning Marcoleta slum the Bureau of Internal Revenue BIR for suspiciously failing to figure out the possible involvement in tax fraud of ABS-CBN and the Big Dipper, adding that the agency did not lift a finger. Next naman po sa kanyang kontrobersiya, kaning Marcoleta was one of the biggest names determined to shut the ABS-CBN down during hearings on the network bid for franchise renewal. Another controversy, kaning Representative Rodante Marcoleta defended Tony Gonzaga amidst all the criticism that former PBB host has received. He then said that those who criticize Tony must also widen their understanding. Another naman na kontrobersiya, kaning Marcoleta grills expert for pushing due diligence and government procurement. Another controversy, kaning Marcoleta stop queries on young citizenship, says they are unrelated to the hearings. Another controversy, kaning Marcoleta seeks proof of illness after some PhilHealth execs left house hearing. And lastly, siyang kontrobersiya naman, kaning Marcoleta to Meralco, Congress has power to revoke your franchise. So yun po kanyang mga kontrobersiya, no? Talagang matapang talaga siya. Marcoleta, also Rodante, Dizon Marcoleta. And kabahay naman po siyang advocacy, Representative Marcoleta explains advocacy on lowering the cost of basic commodities and electricity. So dapat talaga na murang-mura lang po atong mga basic commodities sa mga ngayon nga masyado ng mahal lahat. Parang tayo lang po ang hindi minamahal. Pero lahat ng mga binibili ay nagmahal na. Pero yung minamahal natin, di tayo mahal. May ganon. And of course, kanipong electricity na dapat talaga mag-lower ang kanilang mga presyo po. Kasi lahat tayo ay gumagamit ng electricity. Paano lang kung walang kuryente, wala ding tubig. Di ba totoo naman yun na pag walang kuryente, wala din tubig, especially katong mga naghinahanglan talaga o electricity, gamit po yung electricity sa ilang water nga paggamit. Parang nagkarumble tuloy. So yun po ang advocacy ni Representative Marcoleta explained advocacy and lowering the cost of basic commodities and electricity. And kabahin po sa kanyang plataforma, now that he is running for the Senate under the unit team of former Senator Bongbong Marcos and Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, Representative Marcoleta hopes to contribute not only in creating laws that would help the marginalized, but also in strengthening the oversight function of Congress. He stresses that this is important because the oversight function deals with being able to determine whether the objectives of the laws are implemented and followed. Another naman po sa kanyang plataforma, he dreams of having a stable and a peaceful country. He wants long-term stability, especially since the country is being visited by several typhoons and other weather systems, all of which first affect the poor, the most vulnerable sector of society. And lastly po sa kanyang plataforma, he would also like to help address corruption in the country. He emphasizes that no matter how diligent the leaders are, when corruption is rampant, it drains the public coffers. In the end, it is the poor again who suffer because most of the money that should have funded public services needed by them went astray. So yun po ang kanyang plataforma kung siya po is pala rin po na makapasok sa senatorial seat. So I hope sa lahat natin mga listeners out there, mga viewers out there is nahayagan mo. Kabahin po sa pagpaminaw sa kanilang mga biography, mga work experience, kasi importante din yan kung wala masyadong work experience, kung paano sila makapagtulong po o makapag-work po kung kulang ang kanilang mga kaalaman. So dapat talaga, isa din yan sa factor na dapat nating piliin po na mag-govern sa atong bansang Pilipinas is meron talagang experience. So dapat nating tandaan na sila po ang magiging pillars, magiging model po ng bansang Pilipinas. So hindi lang po dapat maging matapang, maging na political will ang isang magpapili or gustong mga luklok po sa atong mga president, vice president sa senatorial seat. So dapat sila din po is meron din ganitong hiyas, magkaroon ng political will and then maging matapang po para labanan at magkaroon na talaga ng mabisa at epektibo na mga laws po, especially sa mga marginalized sectors po. So yun po, so far mo na sila akong na-mention karong adlaw ang biography, platforms, and ano nangyari si Joey? Biography and platforms po sa gustong magpapili sa presidential or senatorial seat. And again, akong balikon nga, naging honest at naging vocal po atong municipal administrator, kaban ani mga tawhana, nang handang tumulong po. And then nakita niya, isip na isa din siya sa public service, or isa din siya ka public service nga, or public servant, ang atong municipal administrator. Kasi nga alam natin na siyang naging mayor, naging vice mayor din, and then nahimpod siyang SB. So alam niya, or kilala niya masyado itong mga tao na ito. So dapat po ganun din tayo na malaman din ang kanilang mga plataforma, mga biography, mga work experience para talagang maging matibay at maging matatagpo ang bansang Pilipinas. G, oras si karon alas 12:35. And before di ko mo bid o goodbye, ako da i-greet ang lahat ng mga viewers natin karon. Hello po sing lahat dyan. Happy Friday po sing lahat. Thank you so much for listening and viewing the eye. So from Ma'am Erlinda Bernesebo, hello Ma'am Aya watching here. Salamat kayo Ma'am Erlinda Bernesebo. And then from Gapulrian, good din Ma'am Aya. Hello din sa iyo Ma'am Gapulrian. And hello po sa lahat natin mga Giya sa Porok 5. Barangay Dimulugan. Sakto ba ko Ma'am Gapulrian? And then from Norma Ungot, watching here. Salamat kaayo Ma'am Norma Ungot. Happy Friday po. And then from Norma Ungot again, watching from Porok 4 Poblacion. O sila po ang naka-messages, naka-comment po or nag-greet no? Sa atong Facebook account. That's Grace Covenant FM official account. And kabahin po sa atong YouTube net channel. Hi da kay Coffee. Hello Miss Aya watching. Salamat kayo Coffee sa pag-view o sa pagpaminaw din. May God bless you. And hello din po sa lahat ng ating mga OFWs dyan. Sending love po, sending good vibes, sending positivity po sa lahat ng ating mga OFWs, sa lahat ng mga viewers. Nakikita oras si karon alas 12:37. So next Monday na po, March 21 at 2022, duha ng podcast senatorial candidate at paghahisgutan kabahin sa kanilang mga achievement, mga advocacy and platforma po. So I hope na everyone is willing to listen again, willing mamino o willing pod nga mo greet sa kanilang mga loved ones via FB or via YouTube. May God bless you all po. So again, this coming Monday, March 21 at 2022, Monday po yan, mag-uban na po tabalik. Same time, 12 to 1 po, same frequency, 101.3, Grace Covenant FM. So sa lahat ng mga viewers out there and listeners, may God bless you all po. Goodbye, keep safe and happy weekend. Bacolod, padayon pagsidlak.
Giya sa Pagpili 2022.